Okay, so we are looking at the is it day 6 homework? Yeah, application problem using the calculator. So this question is giving you the table of values, and we have the rate. How fast the water flow out of the pipe, gallons per hour. And they say, can you use the table, right? Use the midpoint Riemann sum with 4 subintervals of equal length to approximate this. Okay, 4 subintervals. Delta t is 24 divided by 4. So every 6 hours is my interval, right? 0 to 6, 6 to 12, 12 to 18, 18 to 24. So this is your base of the rectangle. Which y value do I choose? If I choose 9.6, that will be the left endpoint. If I choose 10.8, that will be the right endpoint. But I want to find the midpoint, right? So this is R of 3. It's the midpoint for the first interval. R of 9, which is that height, is my height. So I want to find base times height, base times height. Yes. Is that okay? When I find it, what does that mean? What is the meaning of this answer? What is the unit? Gallons. That's how much gallons, but you cannot just say this much gallons. You have to say the whole sentence to interpret the meaning. Okay, can we try again? Total number of gallons of water. Yeah, flow out of where? The pipe. From when to when?
24.
Within the 24 hours time. Yes, yes, yes. So mid RAM tell us that 6, right? Times R of 3 plus R of 9 is R of 15. Yeah, put in all this value. Okay, do you have the answer? 多少? Okay, and then for this question, you have to write a complete sentence, like what I said. So I'm gonna show you the solution. You can read it, but now I'll just skip it. All right, B, is there some time within 0 to 24 that R prime of t is 0? R prime of t is the slope of R, right? This is from semester 1. What are they trying to ask you? What theorem? Mean value theorem in a special case. When the R prime is 0,
I forgot his name.
start with the R. Rolle's theorem. Yeah, Rolle's theorem says if you have a function and you have the f of A equals to f of B, the same height, remember this? F of A is equal to f of B. There must be a value C within A to B such that instantaneous rate of change f prime of C is 0 because the average rate is 0. So, in other words, f is R. Can you see any R value that is equal to each other? 9.6, yes, right here. So your answer is yes, but you need to interpret. bring out the mean value theorem or Rolle's theorem guarantees that.
Wait, what's the answer?
Yes, there must be a R prime of t within 24 hours that R prime of t is 0. Because when you find the average rate of change, right? When you find R of 24, subtract R of 0. Change of R over change of time. That's 0, right? Since they are equal to each other. Okay, Rolle's theorem. C. It says the rate of the water R of t can be approximated by Q of t. So instead of, there's two parts they give you the table of value, but now they give you a function. Okay? Use Q of t to approximate the average rate of water flow during the 24-hour time. This question is asking you to find the average value, average rate. Remember the formula? So we want to find integral from 24 hours, 0 to 24 of Q of t dt, right? Divided by total time, which is 24 hours. That will be the average value of Q. Which is how fast the water flow out of the tank. So can you put this function into your y1 and then integral from 0 to 24 of y1. Don't forget to divide it by 24. Yeah. All right. That is that question. Okay, we are back. Now we are looking at review 2, test review 2 document. Second question is the 2003 question 5 free response. This is non-calculator application of the definite integral. So this question actually defines function g is equal to integral from 2 to x f of t dt. Look at the graph. What does it say here? F. So what's the relationship between graph f and the g of x? If g is the integral of f, that means f is derivative of g. Thank you very much, right? Isn't it? Remember the fundamental theorem of calculus part 1? If you do g prime, isn't it d dx from 3 to x, f of t dt? Isn't that just f of x? So this is just another way, circling around, but they are just trying to tell you with a loud voice. G prime of x is f of x. Can you remember this? I'm trying to tell you g prime is f. So you're really looking at g prime graph. All right? This is derivative of g that you are looking at. Okay, Ma? Good. So look at A. Integral of g prime will be g, right? This is g prime. What is the slope of g prime? It's g double prime. Okay, so we know that. Look at A. They say, can you find the value of g of 3? I'm going to utilize that definition to help me. So A, g of 3 is integral from 2 to 3, right? I'm replacing my x with the 3. F of t dt. We already learned definite integral. How do you find integral from 2 to 3 of f of t dt? Look for the area between 2 to 3, right? What is the accumulation of change? That is your A. Can you help me to find the area? What is it? 3? Is it 3? Yeah. So G of 3 is 3. What is G prime of 3? Isn't G prime of 3 F of 3? Because G prime is F, right? And where is F of 3? Just look at the Y value. 2. Okay. Next one. What is G double prime? Slope, yes. Slope of F. That's F prime of 3, right? What is the slope? You can use the right triangle. 2. Is it positive 2 or negative 2? Negative 2, yes. Negative slope. Are we good with the number 1? Yes. Alright, next one. B, can you find the average rate of change of G? Average rate of change of G on the interval 0 to 3. Remember to read this. What is rate of change of G? G prime, which is F. So this question is asking you to find average value of F from 0 to 3, right? F, you have all this Y value. What is the average value? And what is the formula? 1 over B minus A, which is 3. Integral from 0 to 3 of f of t dt. How do you find that? Well, what is the total area from 0 to 3? Total net change. Since 0 to 3 are all above x-axis, I will have just the positive area. Add them together, divided by 3 will give you the average value. So I think that's 7 over 3, right? Is it 7? C. How many value of C over this interval is G prime of C equal to the average value? That's a mean value theorem. You already found the average value is 7 over 3. It's about 2.3, right? 2.3 right here. This is your average value. So average value G prime of C is equal to 7 over 3. How many value of C exist that equals to G prime of C is 7 over 3? Look for how many intersecting points, right? This is C1, this is actually C2. 2 intersect. So explain. Because I'm going to drag f of x. I draw y equals to 7 over 3 intercept f of x in 2 places on this interval. So there are 2 value of C, right? Satisfy at this moment, the rate is equal to the average value. All right? D, can you find x coordinate of each point of inflection of graph of G over the entire interval? Point of inflection of G. How can we find point of inflection?
Max of the derivative.
Yes, okay. So first of all, second derivative of G has to be 0 or undefined, but more importantly, it has to change sign. Remember the point of inflection definition? The concavity change, right? But second derivative of G is the slope of F. All right? So this is finding the point of inflection. That means I want to find the second derivative of G is equal to 0 or does not exist, and second derivative changes sign. When second derivative is positive, that's concave up, negative, concave down, so when they change directions, it's point of inflection. And if you're looking at G prime, which is F, that is the maximum minimum point of G prime, is when the slope changes, right? Changes from positive to negative. And slope of G prime is G double prime. Are you okay? This is all the first semester stuff. So this is when G prime, which is F of X, G prime is equal to F of X, right? Changes the slope. When you have the graph of F, the slope changes sign. That is the maximum minimum point of F. Okay, where is the maximum minimum point? X equal to 2, X equals to 5. Are we good?
What about
Endpoint, we don't look at endpoint because we don't know what's going on after that. Is it gonna continue or go down? Right? Only within, if you look at the question, is not closed, right?
Only if it's closed.
Okay, so I'm going to post the answer key for those, and I suggest you review as much as you can. Every single question is a little bit different, so where is the review keys? All right, here. So let's look at the mark scheme. So first question is 1 point for each finding G of 3, G prime of 3, G double prime of 3. Second question, remember we're asking you to find the average value. So 1 point by finding the total change, 1 point for answer. Okay, number 3C is how many values satisfy the mean value theorem? So there are 2 values. Answer 2, but you need to explain the reason. Because we have 7 over 3 equal to G prime of C, right? Y equals to 3 actually intersect the graph twice. All right, D, point of inflection at x equal to 2 and 5. If you find that, 1 point. Justification. justify the best you can. And that's it. Okay? So, 2 examples.